But at first, I want to speak about Fat Joe. Now, Fat Joe, as of recently, Fat Joe spoke about how, I don't know what interview he was on, but Fat Joe spoke about how 95% of his lyrics are imaginary. They're just a mere stretch of his imagination. Now, we all know Fat Joe's track record, right? You guys know Fat Joe has a track record. Them Spanish niggas, all right? He's one of the most serious Spanish niggas in the game. And some would say Fat Joe is undefeated in the eyes of hip hop. All his adversaries seemingly, they fell to him. They fell victim to him. I recall at one point, even with 50 Cent and all that, Fat Joe kind of stood tall, though 50 did clown him at the award show. But nonetheless, it seems like Fat Joe's track record is flawless. Now, we don't know what's going on in the background. I'm pretty sure everybody has a chink in their armor. Let's be serious. But the way we view Fat Joe, we see Fat Joe as somebody that's flawless, right? His character is flawless, nonetheless. But Fat Joe says that 95% of his lyrics are exaggerated. They're imaginary. They're just a misstretch of his imagination. Now, that sounds like damage control to me, Joe. I'm going to be real with you. Now, in reference to Don Cartagena and all that, you know how in hip-hop we exaggerate, especially when we talking about when we meeting the plug and we flying out to Colombia and we picking out the crop, and you know what I mean? And we meet the plug and we on the like American gangster. Yeah. That's all exaggerated. No doubt. That's all exaggerated. But nonetheless, Fat Joe is trying to leave people under the assumption that everything that he says is imaginary. But his track record exceeds himself. When people speak about Joe, they talk about Joe, how he sold crack in the Bronx. Joe speaks about the encounters that he had with certain people throughout his area in the Bronx, New York, all the way to jail. The way Joe is so courageous. Fat Joe is very courageous. Like, he doesn't see nobody. And I'm a street dude, so I find him to be genuine. When Fat Joe talk, I don't see no cap in his talk. So sometimes I think Fat Joe's doing damage control. I think Fat Joe's seeing so much money right now. He's so much endorsements right now. He knows it's not good for his image. He doesn't want his track record to catch up with him. He doesn't want his reputation to catch up with him. So he's copping out and he's saying that everything that he did is 90% imaginative. He's just exaggerating, okay? Yeah, I see that. I see the reason for him doing that. He's a very smart person. And nonetheless, I think that's genius, all right? So let's clap it up. Let's clap it up for Fat Joe. Because by no means do I believe Fat Joe didn't do 95% of the rhymes that he says, all right? But let's clap it up for Fat Joe nonetheless. AKA Don Cartagena, Jose, Jealous One's Envy. You remember that album? I think that album went platinum, all right? The general of the Terror Squad. Rest in peace to Big Pun. That part. Now, you guys, there's something important I want to speak about, man. Let's get to it. All right. Let's talk about King. Man, let's just say that for last. I want to say that for last. I'm not even talking about King and T.I. yet. That's all over the internet. We're going to speak about T.I. and the Sun. But let's speak about Lil Nas X. Now, you guys, Lil Nas X, you know he's part of the LGBTQT community, all right? Nonetheless, now, Lil Nas X, you know he's no stranger to controversy. His whole career deals with controversy. Lil Nas X is seen, I think he had a Nike where he put the devil on it, Satan, so he did satanic imagery. He does all this when he does his shows, he's always doing something controversial, something that would be deemed demoralizing. Morally, it'd be considered wrong. He's always testing the boundaries of morals.